Well, howdy guys, Paul with you here today. I thought it was a good idea to pull over and do a video, but I guess I was wrong. It's a lot busier area than I thought it was, but I'll bring you along on a very cool video. And the reason it's a very cool video because I finally finished this truck, and what I mean by finishing is finally figured out the transmission. Can you believe that? Finally got the transmission in check, and yeah, I'm super excited. I've been very fortunate. Let's just say the Lord has been good to me. I don't know how well my patience served me. I was ready to give up on these trucks, man. These 5th gens have driven me up the walls. I just can't figure them out, or couldn't figure them out for the life of me. But hey, it's a good day out here, and people decided to ride bikes. I don't know. There's like few little parking lots there for local parks, and as far as I know, the local parks are closed, but people don't seem to care. Bring it along and actually a scenic drive here. Believe it or not, it's a pretty cool road down here. Alright guys, just bear with me. I wasn't planning on driving and talking on this one, but it seems like we just got to do it the old-fashioned way. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at them parking lots. They're full. I mean, fairly full. Anyways guys, the reason you're here is to watch what all did Paul figure out his truck. Guys, buckle in. It's going to be a long story to tell. While I was at the engine, I was able to, or Ram has sent out an update and to perfect my engine as well, which I'm super excited about. So all in all, this video is going to be about 3 things: engine, transmission, and gas mileage. I am super excited. I don't know if you can tell it in my voice. Like, it has been a huge relief to me that my 5th gen, I mean my personal truck 5th gen, is finally Gucci, and now I'll work on my work trucks and we are gonna be good. I'm gonna try to stay focused. Talking about a work truck, one of my 5th gens is in limp mode right now, but we'll figure that one out. So the engine, I wasn't much targeting the engine. I wasn't aiming towards the engine. I had no complaints with the engine. The engine had good power. Gas mileage was low. It was pretty crappy, but I wasn't so bummed out about the gas mileage and the engine. I'll just leave the engine alone. The engine was fine. The transmission was just lost. I mean, this thing was all over the place. When you go to slow down and then them downshifts kicked in, I mean, they were just ridiculously off. So what all happened? There's 2 things that really took place. The local dealership that I'm working with, Dishman Dodge, fantastic guys, and here's why they're fantastic. They didn't just send me on my way and say, hey, there's nothing. I reached out to them once. I said, hey, this is the issue on hand, what can we do? And they're like, hey man, looks like all the parameters check out. You got no updates. We can't do anything at this time, but you know, let us know if you need us to do anything else. And this is where my research part really pays off, based off forums, my own experience. And this is the train of thought that I read. This is where it all started. For some odd reason, I remember my service gal from my Cadillac, yes, my Cadillac. They were talking about their warranty and everything. For the people that don't know, I own a Escalade and I bought it brand new. So on my way out, she was talking about the service and what she would recommend I do. And she stated the phrase, hey, for the first 500 miles, don't use your cruise. You don't want your transmission to be lazy. Yes, guys, I'm talking about my Ram, but I'm also talking about my Cadillac. This is where my thought process went, so just follow along. She's like, don't use your cruise control because your tranny is going to learn that pattern. It's going to become very lazy. I'm like, you mean let's break in the rear end and the transmission, a little bit of the engine? She's like, no, that's already broken in. You don't want to make your engine, your tranny, record you being lazy and very, you know what I mean, driving very mellow, because your tranny is just going to be programmed to be lazy. So I started thinking, started brainstorming. I'm like, okay, so that tranny is always learning, but my Aisin is always learning as well. I do have a tendency when I buy brand new vehicles to break them in my way. And what my way is really is just taking it easy and progressively getting into that load, that workload. So what all that entailed, you know, I'd buy a brand new truck, drive it easy, take it easy, and with the mileage I'd gradually accelerate. But here's the kicker: what has the computer recorded? If I bought the truck brand new, the computer doesn't have much data to go off, so it's blank. And if I jump in that truck and I drive it very slowly, it's gonna be very lazy. I'm like, huh. Well, I wonder if we clean that slate and drive it like I want to drive it. So with a little bit more research, I think it's called DQL, Dealer Quick Learn. So pretty much what they do is they go in and they wipe the computer clean. Said, all right, here's a reset. Guys, this is key. This is the first key to me solving my transmission issue. So I requested, excuse me, I requested my dealer to do me a data queue. Dealer Quick Learn, so DQL. So y'all know what it means. Pretty much reset your transmission computer. And as I said, I'm working with Dishman. Fantastic dealership. I expected them to ask a bunch of questions, but they're like, nope, that's what you want, we'll give you that. They know how frustrated I am. They also know that they've sold me quite a few 4th gens and I've never complained about them. And all of a sudden they start selling me these 5th gens and I'm like, pile of junk, pile of junk, pile of junk. I hate this truck. Why do I hate it? Because I can't figure it out. It ain't performing the way I want it to perform. The truck it doesn't have a problem with reliability. Like I just mentioned, one of my work trucks a limp mode. I'm guessing it's probably an EGR. We've had EGR codes on that thing before, so it's probably gonna go to dealership. But that's an isolated incident. Let's take the big picture here. Why was Paul irritated with the 5th gens? Solely because of this transmission issue. It's all over the place. Lord behold, I get my truck in the dealership to do some little detail, I think. Oh, they funny thing is they can't get you a puddle light, so they gotta get you the whole mirror or something like that. So at the same token, they were gonna do a DQL, but the guy's like, dude, I got really good news for you. About a week ago, looks like they released an update for the engine and the transmission. I'm like, fantastic. He's like, the funny thing is, the update for your transmission is exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, ha, so my base is already gonna be, I'm a lot better off with the proper basis, you know. So they gave me an updated computer, ECU, so the engine computer, and then they give me an update for my transmission computer, and boy can Paul be thankful. Just praise the Lord. I am super happy, super thankful. I'm pretty sure you can tell it in the video, like, finally. For all you believers, it's called hallelujah. That's what we call it. Anyways, so that's what happened with my transmission. So my thought process of getting it reset, and my thought starting with the clean slate. So let me finish that thought before I jump into the engine, what I gained with that, the engine tuning. So the transmission got reset. Not only did it get reset, it also got the new tuning. But the thing is, when you get the new tune, I heard it gets reset as well, or you have to reset it as well. So I got better bases and I got a clean slate. So now that I am not breaking, all right, boys, my camera died, so I had to swap out my battery. Back to what I was saying. Now that we're not breaking in this this transmission, engine, rear end, and all that stuff, and all that Gucci stuff, drive it a little bit more aggressively than you regularly. Can't even talk anymore. Than you regularly would, but do it all scenarios. And this is my impression, guys. There's nothing scientific about it. Just I'm sharing my thought process with you. I'm sharing what worked for me. I'm just here to help. So hear me out if you don't. If you think it's a bunch of bogus, shut her down. What can I tell you? Oh, Lambo. That's something new around Spokane. It's pretty dead out here with exotics. Anyway, so with me starting on a clean slate, I just got in my truck and I drove it probably for 3 hours. And I let it record everything. I let it record my daily driving. What I mean by everything is every possible scenario. So few accelerations, typical accelerations, slow down, so the transmission could go through the gears and get the feel for itself, if you could call it that. Properly record the first few hundred miles, if I could call it that. So you guys, I think you guys finally get in the drift where I'm going at here. So clean slate, drive it like you always would, but drive it a little bit more aggressive than you would. I'm not talking like drive it aggressive, just a little bit more than you regularly would. So what that, and the reason I say that, with that in mind, the transmission is just going to lock a little firmer, be a little bit more precise under heavier throttle, right? It has to be precise. So the first, second, third, fourth, first few times going to be a little sloppy, and it's just going to self-correct. But make sure you do the same thing over and over and over. Like, just go through traffic, literally, just go through traffic. Do the same scenario over and over so your transmission has a chance to record its behavior, because I mean, it's always monitoring itself. There's these engines and transmissions are so far technologically advanced that they self-correct a lot. They record data and everything. Don't be a bat out of hell thinking you're gonna tune your transmission really hard by, you know, flooring your truck. Heck, if that's how you drive your truck every day, then yeah, I guess that would be it. You know, drive it really hard. But what I'm underlining here, in your daily scenario, just do it a little bit. And I'm talking a little bit more aggressive. So let's just call it, you accelerate on daily at about 25-30% throttle. Shoot for the 35-40. Don't even go 50, just a little bit more, so the transmission locks up a little bit better. A lot of people, and I'm guilty of this myself, I'll take it easy, let it, you know, just shift easier. But Aisin doesn't like that. Aisin likes to get its neck wrong, in simple terms. It likes to go through the ringer. It likes to lock them gears, jam it up. I've said this about the 4th gen. You want your 4th gen to shift good? Because 4th gens will start shifting sloppy. I had a 4th gen, for those new guys on this channel. I had a 4th gen for 6 years. 5 years. I lied. No, that's 6 years. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Yeah, 6 years. Anyways, nevertheless, if I drove that 4th gen a lot in town, it got slushier and sloppier. I'd put in tow haul mode and just give it the beans. Few shifts, few up and down shifts, you know, few accelerations from a dead stop, and I'm talking on a highway, you know, like 0 to 70, 0 to 20, or excuse me, 0 to 60. Just let it bang them gears out. All of a sudden, you're out of tow haul mode and it's crisp again. Highly advise that. That's what works for the 4th gen. The 5th gen doesn't adapt as quick, but it records it, and it's more like hard data now. That's what did it for me on the 4th gen, or excuse me, the 5th gen. I'll leave that alone. Now let's talk about the engine. Lord behold, as you guys could tell, I was driving through town. I just hit these back roads. My gas mileage, I got reset this morning. It just hangs out between 16 and 18. Guys, 16 and 18, a mix of city and a little back road driving, that is unheard for this truck. Now, I didn't beat up this truck too much for its gas mileage because it has some serious power. Well, guess what? They just added even more usable power. I wouldn't say it's like, I don't think they added more power, but it's a better tune, which equates to more usable power. Not more power, more usable power. Okay? You guys need to understand the difference. And a lot of times I go through things so quick and I mislead people. I want to say when I did my intake, I said there's more, about 10 to 15% more power. I said what I said. What I meant to say is there's about 10 to 15% quicker response, better throttle response. So it equates to that, more usable power. Okay, back to the subject of the engine. Not only does it get better gas mileage, as you guys can tell, we're shooting up in the 17.1, and I didn't just reset this. You know, I'm halfway through my day here, and I reset it this morning. I probably have, I don't know, on this race, give or take 100 miles, but that's like city miles. Yes, guys, my pressure's a little off because I adjusted my tire pressure when one side is well warm. I did really good on the fronts, you know, compensated 3 to 4 psi, but the rears were a little bit different. Now, whatever, anyways. What I was trying to underline here is that engine. I told you the gas mileage. I'm more focused on first impressions. I will follow up another video with facts, exactly what, where, when, why kind of deal. I guess that just comes back to the gas mileage, because the transmission shifts like it's supposed to, and the engine shifts, or excuse me, the engine gives you power like it's supposed to, and everything's good. And also keep in mind, these are my temps in town. Oh, we got another issue. This darn thing will not focus. Maybe because I dropped it today? Maybe. Come on, dude. There you go. Would you look at that? Those are my gauges. Anyways, boys, so as far as the engine computer tuning goes, I want to say it spools up easier, noticeably easier, about 5 to 10% easier. Back to the whole more usable power topic of the engine. I told you it gets miles per gallon. Now let's talk about power that you actually gain. It goes easier. Have I done like 0 to 60 measurements? No. I did give it the beans yesterday when I was trying to run the transmission through all the scenarios. And it moves, absolutely moves. But that's under full throttle, it's hard to tell because I mean it moves before. I never had an issue with power per se with this truck. But the gas mileage is significantly better. I will come back to that later. So we talked about the engine, you know, about 5 to 10%. Yes, I'm sensitive. Well, no, it's not just a fuzzy feeling. It just pulls better. It's quicker. Let's just put it this way. The truck is quicker. I wouldn't say it's more power, but it's just quicker power, quicker delivery, easier. It's just perfected tuning, better tuning. Now the transmission, I got an updated tune and a clean slate. So I went out there and just drove it like I usually would, but a little bit harder. You know, and I told you I'd talk about gas mileage. Sorry, I can't give you an exact digit. I mean, today alone, I'm probably like 100, 150 miles today, and then yesterday I did probably not a few hundred, maybe a couple hundred miles yesterday. So give me some time, I'll come back to you with the gas mileage figures. Now, all in all, I'm super happy. I'm thankful for finally settling and being happy with my truck. If they don't release any more updates and I don't have to change anything, what I mean I don't have to change, there's really no reason. What I expect out of a pickup, I have it, I see it, and I get it, and I'm super happy with it, okay? Now, if you're local in Spokane, just go to Dishman and just tell them your experience, what your experience Paul did, because if you have the same truck, you got a 19 or a 20, so pretty sure you got warranty. You know, the guy that I dealt with was Larry, a little bit of Robert, so if you guys want to deal with Larry or Robert, I highly advise you to. You guys don't know where Dishman is? Google Dishman in Spokane, Washington. Really easy to find them, boys. Just solid guys. They're family-based. They're good people. You know what I mean? They're transparent, you know? The first time I approached them, like, dude, the tranny shift's fine, and I can't really find much. I mean, I'm not saying it's not there, but we just can't find a solution for what you're saying. I'm like, okay, so just let us know what you want to do. I'm like, okay, so I did what I did all my homework, and that's what I came up with. So yeah, boys, that's it. I'll wrap up this video, get back to doing what I usually do. Gotta do my trucking thing. Anyways, guys, as always, may the Lord bless you, and may the Almighty find day. Ciao. Bye.